Ho Chi Minh City. What a vibrant and chaotic place it is. It's a city located in South Vietnam and it's got just under 10 million people and it is unorganized chaos everywhere. This place used to be called Saigon and on the 2nd of July 1976 this place changed from Saigon to Ho Chi Minh City to honour the late leader of Vietnam who sadly passed away in 1969, and it was a way to honour what he had done for the country. He helped Vietnam break free of the shackles of the French and Indochina during World War II and helped fight against the Americans in the 50s and 60s. And this place is just filled with amazing history. That was the one biggest takeaway I got away from being in Ho Chi Minh City, was just the history here. It is incredible and something that you can really delve into by going to different sites and museums to learn more about the Vietnamese War. We arrived to this amazing place late at night. It just gone past midnight and we arrived on a sleeper bus from Dalat, where we were only there for a couple of hours to do one thing, the Mario Kart, and it was certainly worth it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
He got hooked.
We only had a short amount of time there, but we had plenty of fun in Dalat, somewhere that we wish we could have delved into more, but it just wasn't meant to be on this occasion. And I'll make sure when I go to Vietnam next time, I'll spend more time there. But that's for another day. Today's about Ho Chi Minh City. We stayed in District 1 out of 24. 19 of these districts are within the city and 5 are in the suburbs just outside the city. Me personally, know it for one thing, and that is Walking Street. It is chaotic, it is mental. You are just walking down the strip of Walking Street, weaving in and out of people so you don't clash into them, and it is just so busy. It hasn't been the busiest walking street or pub street that we went to. The number one spot for that is in Bangkok, but it was pretty close. You have people dancing on tables, music loud enough to burst your eardrums, and drinks so cheap that you can have such a good night for under £10. And it was a great introduction to this city. The atmosphere and the culture along here really replicates the city as well, because it's just so chaotic, it is so busy. Not so great when you're actually staying near there as well, because you get very little sleep. However, that's another issue. You've really got to be careful when crossing the street. Motorbikes everywhere. It is hectic. After the first night of experiencing Walking Street, we delved into the history. We went to the War Museum, which was all about the Vietnamese War, and it was incredible. They had artifacts outside which was actually used in the Vietnamese War, mainly American military weapons and vehicles, and it was really quite something else. I learned so much about it. It's really cheap to go in and I would highly recommend you doing it. So incredibly sad to hear about what happened to this country just over 50 years ago, and unfortunately some people are still feeling the effects of it today after the Agent Orange got dropped by the Americans onto the Vietnamese during this war, which actually created mutations of newborn babies and could be felt up to the 4th generation, which is truly heartbreaking. But it's important to remember these things so these things can never happen again. But it was something that really took my breath away, and something that I think you must go and see, even if you're an American citizen. Just go and see how this war unfolded, and hopefully history won't repeat itself. After going to the War Museum, it was time to have a little treat, and when we're walking to our next destination, you could just feel the humidity. It was so hot there. And because you're in a city and there's not a lot of wind, you felt even hotter. It was probably the hottest I'd felt so far of the 8 weeks traveling. We'd been in some hot places in North Thailand and Laos, but Ho Chi Minh City, with the skyscrapers towering over you with little to no wind, you are under a heat trap. And I personally got very hot and bothered. So the next place we went to was perfect. This is the Apartment Cafe, and the name is on the tin really. You look up at this pink vibrant building and it's just different cafes with different signs trying to lure you into their cafe. And it was perfect to get out of the sun and enjoy this unique experience. I think it's a little bit of a tourist trap because the drinks were more pricey than normal, but when can you go to a block of apartments or flats, however you want to look at it, and have a drink? Just stroll into an apartment or flat and have a nice ice cold drink, or if you're getting down with the locals, have an egg coffee, a salt coffee, whatever you want. And it's a great way to rehydrate and, for me, get out of the sun. If you're into your bakeries and your hot drinks and cold drinks, definitely worth a visit. It is really central to the city and it was just great to do. From the hustle and bustle of Walking Street, we decided to go to a different street, which was the polar opposite, basically. It was very quiet, still some people there because it's a busy city, but we went to Book Street. Well, I'm calling it Book Street, not sure if it is called that, but Book Street. And again, name is on the tin. It's a street filled with books. You can find any ones you want. There's a lot in Vietnamese, which makes perfect sense, some in French, some in English, and I actually bought a really good book there. On our second full day in Ho Chi Minh City, we stumbled across a pretty interesting festival day event. It was a Japanese anime themed event, and I don't really know what was going on, but I was just enjoying it, enjoying the moment and just going with it really. We had a bit of time to kill before going to the tunnels just outside Ho Chi Minh City, where guerrilla warfare lived and breathed during the day, and then at night they'd come out and attack, set up traps during the Vietnamese War. But this day event, I don't really know what was going on, and you can sort of tell by my reaction at the time. It looks like I've stumbled across a Japan-Vietnam festival in Ho Chi Minh City. It looks like people dressing up as well, like it's Comic-Con or something. Don't really know, but I got something free. Free little yogurt or something, that was good fun. Nice and tasty. But yeah, let's go explore. All I know is that there were some fantastic costumes there and some different types of food. It was a really good atmosphere and I'm glad I went. It was free and got a free yogurt. So free food, I'm normally quite happy with that. But going on to the tunnels, we actually made a stop before going to the tunnels, and it was how they made different types of art. And these type of art, which are on a black canvas, was made out of crushed up eggshells. Really quite special and spectacular to see. And it all went to a good cause, which was just another added bonus about this. But it was just great. And then the main event for the day was going to these tunnels and seeing how the Vietnamese tried to level the playing field during the Vietnamese War. The Americans had way more money than them. Millions and millions of dollars more than the Vietnamese. But the Vietnamese, they were clever. They were very, very clever. They set up different booby traps, and that's how the war just went on for so long before American troops were pulled out. But the Vietnamese are a resilient nation. They've had a lot of controversy and different nationalities attack their country, but they've always stood firm. One of the ways of doing this is by thinking outside the box and going through some really tough times as well. They lived in tunnels under the ground, and there's more than 200 kilometers worth of tunnels under the ground in South Vietnam, which I just think is crazy. Some of the women there lived in them for up to 2 years. How incredible is that? No sunlight, very little food. We actually tried a very starchy vegetable, which they had during the war, with some peanuts and some sugar. It was quite tasty, but without it, it's a little bit chewy and a little bit dry, but I'm sure they didn't care. If you're claustrophobic, this next clip might not be for you, because it was so tight in there.
If everybody to let out,
Okay. 100 meters of this. How do they live down here? Our tour guide said they could live here for 1 to 2 years, no problem. I think I'll struggle.
It was just remarkable to see that people lived in these conditions for such a long time. And they're the main points that we did when in Ho Chi Minh City. We were there for not a long time. It was a short and sweet visit because of external factors, but it was great. I really enjoyed it. I'll definitely go back. I'd like to delve into the historical side maybe a little bit more. Maybe see some more touristy attractions as well, like Notre Dame Cathedral. You can tell it's such a major and vibrant city. As soon as you step off the bus, it was late at night, but you could just tell by the sense in the air that something here is really quite cool. I'll definitely be going back if I get the opportunity. And this place really sums up Vietnam. Unorganised chaos, vibrant, great culture, and just an all-round good atmosphere. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.